Claude Code is now available on Slack, and this now takes your coding to the next level. If you've been using Claude Code on the web or on the desktop, now on Slack is going to take this to the next level. You're going to improve your workflow and you're going to cut the time you jump in between Slack and your terminal. In this video, I'm going to be showing you what I discovered since I've been testing Claude Code on Slack for the last few hours, and it's the kind of workflow that is going to blow your mind. In this video, I'm taking you through how I set up Claude Code on Slack and what I learned and how you can start using it immediately. But if you're new here, my name is Joe. I review AI coding tools and AI model and publish my findings here and on Medium. Currently here on YouTube, I have a goal to get to 10k subscribers and I would like you to help me in that journey. Hit that subscribe button to help us keep going. Now let's get back to Claude Code on Slack so that you can see what's possible and how to set it up. Claude Code in Slack brings the power of Claude Code directly into your Slack workspace. When you mention @Claude with a coding task, Claude automatically detects the intent and creates a Claude Code session on the web, allowing you to delegate development work without leaving your team conversation. This integration is built in on existing Claude for Slack app, but adds intelligent routing to Claude Code on the web for code-related requests. To learn how this works, let's start by installing the Claude app on Slack. You first need to ensure you have Slack account, and creating it is straightforward. Once you have Slack installed, navigate to this landing page, and on this landing page, you can see different kinds of features that make this workflow perfect for teams working on projects or in organizations. You can see this button, Add to Slack, across every section, and this is the button we will use to initiate the installation process. Click on that button to begin installing Claude on Slack. Once I click on that button, it opens up this authentication page with my workspace. This is going to be the same case for your workspace. For me, the workspace is AI software engineers. You can see the cancel and allow button at the bottom, and these instructions that are permissions that you need to review before you can allow Claude to access your Slack account. I'll simply click on allow, and Claude is automatically installed on Slack within a few seconds. You can see 3 instructions of what next. First is you can close this window, return to Slack, then you can find Claude in the app section on your sidebar. Click on Claude to start chatting with Claude within Slack. We have successfully installed Claude on Slack. I'll close this window and get back to Slack. If you have Slack installed, on the sidebar you will see this Claude menu. And once you click on this Claude menu, it opens up this page that has different kinds of menus, tabs for different kinds of features. We have home, chat, history, and about. But if you check carefully, Slack is still not connected to your Claude account. The next step is to connect Slack to your Claude account. Back here on the Welcome tab, you can see this button, Connect Account. This button connects your Claude subscription to Slack. Click that button, and you'll be prompted by this pop-up. Claude for Slack would like to connect to Claude chat account. Then with this Authorize button at the bottom, click on that Authorize button and you'll see the message, you have successfully connected Claude to Slack. And again, you see the instructions as I mentioned in the previous step. What next is to close this window, return to Slack, then click on Claude app in your Slack sidebar and begin chatting. But at the bottom of this page, you can see for you to use Claude Code in Slack, which is our primary interest in this video, you need to ensure Claude Code on the web is set up. And you can set up Claude Code on the web by visiting this URL, claude.ai/code. That's very important. Once you go back to your browser, you can see that authentication was started, the complete authentication in the browser, return to Slack, you can see all these messages. It simply means that Claude is now connected with your Slack successfully. The next step is to now configure Claude Code on the web to work with Slack. This is Claude Code on the web. If you're not familiar with it, it's similar to what we have on the desktop, but this is the web version. You can access it on this URL, claude.ai/code. To start using Slack with Claude Code, you need to begin on this web version. This button allows you to quickly install Slack if you don't have it set up. In my case, I have already set up Slack. I'm just going to click on it. When I click on this install button, it redirects me to the marketplace where you can see this Slack app and my workspace, which is aisoftwareengineer.slack.com. This is the homepage for the Slack app, where we have the description of the app, we have the features, the configuration, and security and compliance, and all that kind of a thing. To open this on Slack, you simply click on this button, Open in Slack, and that redirects you to the download for the desktop version. But in my case, I have already downloaded it and set it up. And now it's going to redirect me to the Slack app. Let's now take a quick tour on this Slack user interface to see how it works along with Claude Code and how they both integrate to create a perfect workflow for coding without leaving Slack. This is a Slack user interface. On this sidebar at the bottom here, we have this Claude menu that opens a chat window. On this window, we have Home tab, the Chat tab, the History tab, and About. On About tab, it's just basic information about the Claude Slack app. The History is where you see the conversation from the previous chats. The Chat tab is where you start chatting with Claude on Slack, and it's also where we will start chatting using Claude Code. For a start, the homepage is very important since it gives you a detailed summary of instructions on how to use Claude Code on Slack. We have the welcome notice here and the model selection, which allow you to select different kinds of models. You can select Haiku, Close Sonnet, Opus, and this corresponds with what you have in your account. The next is the routing. The routing is very important since it allows you to choose the way Claude Code should interact with your chats. On the routing mode, you can choose code only. This is for coding and technical tasks only. All code and chat, which is coding plus writing, analysis, and general tasks. Claude will choose to route your messages between code and chat if you select that option. Here we have also the account section. This shows your account connection. This checkmark indicates your account is connected, and you can see your account and your organization. We also have these starting instructions, which include you can add direct messages to Claude. You can click New Chat at the top right to start a conversation, which is this button right here. You click on it and it creates a chat window where you can start a conversation. You can add Claude to your Slack header by clicking the three dots at the top right. Then at the bottom, you will see the option Add App to your top bar. So we click that, and once you click that, Claude appears here, and you can always click on it to see the chat. You can close it using this option, and you can also remove this shortcut by going back to the same menu and selecting Remove. This creates a quick convenience for you to quickly check your chats. So let me add it back. You can also view your previous conversation on the History tab. For Claude Code, it's important to learn that you use @Claude in channels or in direct messages to create tasks that Claude Code will work on. Ensure it's connected to your repo before you start working. If Claude Code on the web is not connected to your repo, this is not going to work. You can also connect Slack connectors here, and these are basically MCP servers. Finally, at the bottom, we have this option to disconnect your Claude account using this right button. We also have extra options on this drop-down menu. You can click on it and you can see Open App Details, View Profile, Start Conversation, Move Conversation, Copy Search, Conversation, and Open a new window. That is the basic tour of the user interface of Claude on Slack. Now let's move on to the next part where we are going to see how Claude Code works on Slack without leaving your conversation. This is my Claude Code web version, and I have a project that I would like us to use to demonstrate how Claude Code works on Slack. If you note, it's an empty repository that I've pulled from Git, and it's now available on this Claude Code on web version. I began by asking Claude Code to summarize this project. I typed summarize this project. Then Claude read through the files and you can see it's an empty repository that I intended to use it for creating demo projects for my channel, AI Software Engineer on YouTube. I would like to now use it on Slack, and back on Slack, I have this Slack channel, AI Software Engineer Project Demos. I would like to get Claude Code to start working on a sample project inside that project or that repo. I'm going to start by invoking Claude using @Claude. I would like to create a simple HTML, CSS, JavaScript project as one of my project examples in the tutorial repository. You quickly notice that since I mentioned @Slack and they are not on this particular channel, I need to add them first. So I quickly add them, and Claude begins analyzing and putting everything together. You can see it's currently analyzing and gathering information about that project. And if you navigated back to the web version, you would see the conversation is running there as well. I can click here to view the thread, and now I have this option to switch the repository. And currently, it's begun working within Slack, and I'm not leaving Slack for now. I can view the session here, and if I wanted, I could go back to Claude Code on the web so that I can see what's happening. But that's already working. So back to Slack is still running. It's creating the files. We can see it using make directory and running several other bash commands. And everything is running so well without us leaving Slack. And this is the whole essence of using Claude Code on Slack. Think of a situation where we have team members, each can make a contribution on a certain project and invoke or delegate those tasks to Claude Code without ever leaving the Slack interface. I'm going to head back to my project so that you can see it has already created the project. This is the demo project. It's currently creating the files, and this was started from Slack. You can see that. Back to Slack, it's still working on that project. So essentially you can understand how this all works. Let's create a different test that shows how you can manage multiple projects from Slack and using Claude Code. Let me move to a different channel and reference another project. For example, I have a project which I built sometime earlier this year, AutoWP MCP, which was a model context protocol server that I built to help automate my WordPress sites. I can now do the same on this channel. I'll do something like @Claude, can you summarize the project's status of AutoWP MCP project? I just happen to mention the project, and immediately Claude begins researching and summarizing that project. And it's going to be working parallel with the other session. Back to the other project, you can see it's still working on the project, and you can spin as many agents as possible and in different kinds of scenarios to help you work fast and collaborate multiple agents into one project. This can also be useful when you want to correct mistakes, fix bugs, or do all that kind of a thing. For now, we've completed building our first app on Slack using Claude Code. And you can even create a pull request from Slack by clicking this button, which opens the project here, where you can see the changes and either approve or reject the pull request. So that's just the start of what is possible on using Claude Code on Slack. And the possibilities here are only limited by your imagination. You can set up so many workspace options and get work done faster, code shipped faster, and bugs fixed quickly. This other video on the screen will take your Claude Code skills to the next level. I've been releasing these Claude Code videos in a series to help you build on your Claude Code knowledge. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, one like, one subscribe gives me one more step forward to bringing you great content. Thank you, and I appreciate it.